Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nochtli and today we are going to talk about a topic that has been coming by on my Instagram a lot lately, and not necessarily from me, but there were a lot of questions about my confidence, my insecurities, things that people wanted to know. So that is what we're going to discuss today. I asked you guys and girls to put in questions in my questionnaire. There were some pretty good questions, which I think is really good to address, especially on social media nowadays. So that is what we're going to talk about. The topics will be confidence, will be positivity, also negativity, how to deal with that, etc. I'm just going to guide you through it and answer the questions that all of you had. Now, first of all, I want to start off with a message for whoever is watching this. If you're watching this right now, you are beautiful, you are good enough, you're doing great, and I am proud of you. And now, if you're thinking why I'm saying that straight into the camera, well, just because I think that this world, especially nowadays with social media, can use a little bit more kindness, and I'm really missing that at the moment. So sometimes when you're watching videos like this and someone is actually speaking to you, it can actually give you like a boost of confidence right here in my video. So yeah, that's just the first message I want to spread out before starting to the questions. But I'm going to get my phone though, because like I said, there were some pretty good questions in it, and a lot of things that I think sometimes social media people leave out of the picture, because Instagram can be a pretty perfect place for any individual who is watching that, while behind the scenes and how the people actually feel can be totally different. And of course, I'm an example of that. Of course, I don't put myself crying on Instagram. Sometimes only on my story though. I will be very honest about that. I do, because I think it is good for people to know that we are humans too, you know, and there's nothing different about us. Just need to put myself in that box because I do social media, than it is from your life. You know, it's not different. We are just human beings. But sometimes you may get the idea that we just portray this perfect lifestyle and perfect everything, and you might feel bad about it. So the first question is, how has your life changed since your popularity on Insta? You are gorgeous, by the way. Well, first of all, thank you very much. I will explain a little about how that went. First of all, I used to be a police officer. I quit my job at the end of 2015, December 2015, for a lot of reasons. If you want me to make like a separate video of that, please let me know, because that has a whole backstory. But I quit my job there and then, and I did that for 6 years, absolutely loved it. But yeah, I decided to go into a different road, which is called nowadays social media. And back then, Instagram in the Netherlands, where I'm from, was just starting to come up. People didn't really know what it was, and in America it was already pretty big. So 2016, Nochtli started doing social media, and without me actually expecting myself to become well known, or famous, how people call that, I don't really know what to call it myself. I just think it's a very weird word, but in general, people got to know me. And the thing I did was I started posting my fitness journey and my switch from a police officer to a full-time model on social media, and it actually inspired people and motivated people to maybe change their lives, change their lifestyle, and that was something so important for me. I just wanted to inspire people with my story and not necessarily become well known or in the end even make my money with it. I did not expect that to happen. I just wanted to get away from a lot of bullshit at the police force, and this was my way out. So it all came very gradually with me, just because I was me on social media and also real, you know, I did that from the start. So when people noticed that, I got a lot of good feedback, and I'm still grateful to this day that everyone picked up on me so fast, because I grew from 380 followers to 1 million, which is freaking crazy. So yeah, that is how it all started. And the switch really came when people started recognizing me when I walked in my city, which is Haarlem or Amsterdam. And that was so strange for me. I was like, whoa. Because on social media, you don't really have the opportunity to turn it off. You know, when you don't want to be seen on days that you don't feel so well, or you just want to be alone, still you have the idea that the whole world is watching you, which is actually kind of true. Of course, not the whole world, but like thousands of people are watching you on your social media profiles. And I really had to get used to that. So in the first 2 years that I did social media, I was very anxious. I could call myself a little bit unstable. I was having a lot of emotions. I was feeling bad about my self-image. I was feeling bad about myself. Just because there were so many eyes focused on me, and I just could not handle that at the beginning. So also when I got hate comments on Instagram and people just saying nasty things to me, it could be anything from your hair looks weird until your shoes are ugly. I took everything very personal, and that got to me. And luckily for me, I had my boyfriend Jeremy, who helped me out a lot with that. But of course, I had to grow in the process of becoming well known, because that is not something that is like built in the human system to be able to cope with that. But yeah, in the end, it turned out well. I mean, I can handle it now, but it was definitely tough. And in that way, my life has definitely changed, because you always know that people are watching you. You always know that people are waiting for the next thing. And with social media, because it is my job now, I cannot turn that off. So I am constantly working, which is not a bad thing, because I actually really, really enjoy it. You know, if you can motivate and inspire people with your things, in my case, that's a healthy lifestyle and fitness. I'm just more than grateful to be able to do this. But sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming, and that is something that I did not have when I worked at the police force. I worked a lot there, but then people were not watching me so closely, and I actually had weekends, and now that just doesn't exist anymore. So sometimes that's a little bit hard, but like I said, I really cannot complain. I am so grateful to be able to do this, and that you guys actually like me, you know. So I'm just continuing in my whole journey and sharing everything with you, and I really like that. Yeah. Next question is also one I get a lot. How do you have the motivation to sport almost every day? Well, first of all, I do not work out every day. If I would do that, I would crumble into pieces. My body would not be able to cope with that. But I work out approximately 4 to 5 times a week. Am I motivated every day? Hell no, you have no idea. There are days that Jeremy has to literally drag my ass from the couch, take me out, and go to the gym. There are definitely days that I am unmotivated as fuck. And I think that is more than human, only you don't always see that coming by on social media. But how do I get myself motivated and how do I stay motivated is, first of all, it may be very superficial, but a big reason is that if I don't work out, you can see that in my body. And even though we all act like it's not a thing, it's a big thing. I mean, the way you look is also about your confidence and can be also like your biggest motivation. My first and foremost reason that I always stay motivated to work out is because I value my health and my well-being so much, especially after losing my mom. She died from cancer. And oh man, after that, I got such a big shock in life that I just started appreciating everything way more than I did, because all of a sudden your biggest role model is gone. So for me, being able to stay healthy, being able to like create the best version of me and feel good about myself, have the energy to live and do everything that my heart desires is something that keeps me motivated to go work out, to eat healthy. And of course I eat pizza, of course I eat fries and whatever, duh, we all do. But like I said, one big factor in that is that I value my life so much that I do not want to mess that up. Another question, this one is in Dutch. I will read it out in Dutch because I think it's just funny for you guys to hear this, and then I will translate it. Krijg je veel rare berichten van jongens die dan onrespectvol overkomen tegenover jou? Do you get a lot of weird messages from guys who are disrespectful towards you? Yes, definitely, and not only from guys. Social media is one big platform where people feel very, very safe, and too safe nowadays to say everything they have about someone else. So the biggest bullies on social media have a free game. They have a free pass to say everything they want. So also in DMs, first of all, I get hundreds a day, and I do go read them because there are a lot of messages that I do want to answer. I try to. So you also come by the weird ass messages that says, for instance, like yesterday I got a message from like a guy who looked 13. It was in Dutch, and he said to me rape, sex, vagina, and all kinds of weird emojis, and I was like, what? Besides that, there are also guys who offer me like 10,000 euros for a night and say like, I live in Dubai, come here, then you can do everything I want and you get 10k. Or guys who just say, I want to fuck you in the pussy, or I want to do this to you, I want to do that to you. And yes, that is a real thing. But like I said in the beginning of this video, nowadays I know how to handle that. If you send me any messages like that, I block you instantly. I really do not care who you are. Sometimes even well-known people send me things that are not necessarily inappropriate, but very, very strange. And I really don't care. I really don't. If you are disrespectful towards me or my family or someone I know, I block you because I do not want you in my life. And that is also how I live my life on a daily basis. I mean, if someone disrespects me in real life, you are blocked out of mine. So, you can just, there's the door. Guys and girls are definitely disrespectful on social media. But I think, like I said, it's a very big platform where everyone can say everything they want to. And that is a big problem, in my opinion. What is the one thing that really makes you happy? First of all, food. Food makes me very happy, but if we go in a little deeper, the thing that makes me happy is to see the people I love, not necessarily my family, like the people I love and the people that are close to me, who I made family, are doing well in their life. When I can help them out, that lifts my spirit, and I am so happy when I can do that. And that is also one of the big reasons that Jeremy and I work so hard, because when we have really, bro, because when we have enough money, we can also help those around us, and that is something that makes me extremely, extremely happy, to see others do well. Now, I have two questions that are kind of similar. There's one girl who's asked me, how do you deal with it if someone close to you passes away? Because my dad passed away. Well, first of all, Charlotte, my deepest condolences about that. I know how hard it is to lose in my case, my mom. So for you, your dad. Sending you all my love, seriously, because I feel that. Then the other question is, I get it if you don't want to share, but how did your mother pass away? First of all, Koen, thank you so much for saying that. If I don't want to share it, I don't have to. So like I said earlier in this video, my mom passed away because of cancer. And it was actually like such a rare form of cancer. I don't really know how to explain that in English. In Dutch, it is called a thymus. It's like a little hormone regulator, which is in between your lungs. And normally when you pass your 10th life year, so when you're 10, it shrinks down because you don't need it anymore. With my mom, it started expanding, and only that. It didn't go in any other organ, but for her it started expanding and pushing all the other organs away. So her heart got lifted, her lungs were going to the side. At a certain point she kept in a lot of fluid, so her arms started swelling up. And besides that, because it was cancer in a hormone regulator, those bad hormones made her completely different sometimes. So that being said, you need to think about someone looking like they are under the influence of drugs, but they're not. So she got a total different personality. She stopped eating. She almost couldn't talk anymore, and it was such an aggressive form of cancer, which unfortunately in the Netherlands they did not know what to do with that, because it was so rare that the doctors were like, okay, what do we do with this? So it was actually already too late when we found out. And sometimes she was really my mom, and then the next hour those hormones were fucking her up so bad, and she was a total different person. So that was really hard to handle with, and she became so thin she couldn't do anything anymore. She was just laying in her bed, and that's it. So it was really hard for me and my brother back then to cope with that, because he was 19 and I was 22. So as kids, you're like mind blown. And of course, until this day, it really hurts me. It really does. But I'm just more than happy to talk about these things, because it also helps me out. And I need to talk about it. I need to let this out. I need to be able to talk about my emotions. When you guys ask me about my life and regarding my mom, I don't mind answering that, because I actually train myself to talk about it on camera. And even though there's no one here right now, I know that thousands of people are going to see this, and I'm okay with that. So yeah, that is how my mom passed away. Oh, this was a question about one of the stories I put online. What did the other kids think was wrong with your nose? I don't get it. Well, Fabio, back in the day, for the people that don't follow me on Instagram, I need to explain a little bit about what happened on my story. I just explained everyone that back in the day when I was really young, I was just going into high school. I was 13, and the first 2 to 3 years of high school, I was bullied so much. Oh my god, it was almost until a point where I could break down in tears every day, but I didn't, luckily. And they always bullied me about my nose, because if I go to the side, I don't know if you can still see it, like obviously my face has changed because I was younger. I still need to grow a lot, but as you can maybe see, there's like a tiny bump here. And yeah, kids are very, very mean. So they started bullying me because of my witch's nose. They wanted to send a doll witch to my house, and it got really bad, really, really bad, until a point where the whole classroom was like against me. At least that was it in my head. And that was really something that molded me into the person that I am today, because sometimes I can be very blunt to someone when I don't like something, and I'm very straightforward with my opinion. And you will know when I don't like something. That is, I think, the biggest thing that I learned from that period, that I really need to speak out about the things that I feel and the things that I want to say, because back then I didn't do that. I always let everything like ride over me as a train and just let it happen. And of course, kids, when they see that they have that opportunity, they won't stop. They will kill you if necessary with bullying, and it's terrible. It's something that really needs to stop, but of course it doesn't stop all at once. But yeah, that is my bully story. And funny thing to mention, all the bullies that I still know and sometimes see didn't finish high school and were kicked out. So if you're watching, bye. Another question, do you block people that are inappropriate? Yes, I do, Stace. Yes, I definitely do. I really do not hesitate with that. If you say one thing that disrespects me or that makes me mad or feels sad, you are blocked from my Instagram and social media. And that is just to protect myself, because like I said, back in the day when I let those people be in my environment and get to me, I only have myself with that. So like I said, I'm very blunt with the way I work now with those kinds of people. But if you have any negativity and shit to say that isn't necessary, I will block you. Of course, opinions and everything, I don't mind about that. But being disrespectful to someone, black. You still feel insecure nowadays, despite all of people who say you look amazing, question mark, because you do. Well, first of all, Luke, thank you very much. I put on my story that sometimes I have the feeling I am not good enough. And yes, I do. Like, I think the biggest misconception nowadays is that people who have followers who have something that you don't are always the happiest people, and that is not true. It doesn't matter if you look like a top model or you work for Victoria's Secret or whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, humans are humans, and people have insecurities, and I think that is okay. You know, it is fine. You are human, and you need to learn how to deal with those things. So being insecure is okay. And sometimes I compare myself with other people on social media and think I am not working hard enough, or I need to be better, I need to be this, I need to be that. And that is just something that I am working on. You know, I need to work on my self-esteem. And I think I did that throughout the years. And like I said, if you're watching right now and think that having no insecurities is perfect, no, it's not, honey. It's not. Having insecurities is perfectly normal, and it actually teaches you things in life that you can use for later. So when you grow up, you know how to deal with those things. Even the most famous people have insecurities, and it is fine. It is totally fine. So yeah, I do have them, even though some people might say that I look gorgeous or whatever, which is really kind. Thank you so much. But yeah, I do have them, and I'm very open about that on social media. Like I said, I use my platforms as a kind of a open book, because I want people to see that I have insecurities. I want people to see that I don't have my life in order, like in every direction, because that is life and that is normal. And maybe when they see that I also struggle with that, they won't feel that bad anymore about it, and maybe they even learn something from me. So if I can help anyone out by just putting myself on that stand and on that pedestal, like, yo, I have this too, then I will do that. What is your biggest regret? I don't have any regrets, even though I might have made mistakes in the past. Those are just things that learn me stuff in life, and which I thought at that exact time was the best decision to do. So I don't regret anything. I can only learn from them and see them as life lessons. So no, I don't have any. All right, guys, the last question. Did the police work, what you did before, changed your character? Did it make you tougher, for instance? Yeah, it definitely did. I mean, I became a police officer when I was 17 and a half. But yeah, I definitely had to grow up faster maybe than other people at that age. I chose to work full time and earn my money. So yeah, it definitely made me tougher, but it also taught me how to stand for my opinion in a lot of things. It taught me not to give up on any circumstance, and that is exactly how I'm living my life right now. I'm very, very positive about almost anything, and I don't let things get to me fast. And even if I do, I make sure that I am getting out of that black hole very fast. I am more determined about the things that I want to do. I have a lot of persuasion. I am strong, and actually it influenced my life in more than 100 ways, and definitely shaped my character into who I am today. And there are many things that are not only positive that changed it about me. As a police officer, you definitely need to hold your ground not only outside but also among your co-workers, because men at the police sometimes can be really degrading towards women. So that is maybe a negative thing, that it has changed in my character, that sometimes I speak out too fast without letting someone finish because I think they disrespect me or they say something nasty to me, which might not even be the case in the end. So that has definitely changed me. And I am super happy that back then I made that choice, because now, like I said, I am strong, I'm confident about what I'm doing, and I have a lot of drive in me to change my life for the better. And I think being a police officer definitely helped a lot in changing me. Okay, everyone, those were the questions. I know that this is a pretty long video. I truly hope that you watched it all the way until the end, because a lot of questions are connected and stuff. But thank you so much for watching. I truly hope that my story and my answers maybe helped you a little in your own journey. If you have questions, please drop them in the comments down below. If you have any other subjects that you would like me to talk about next time, because I'm actually thinking of maybe doing like a podcast interview kind of things with other people. It's still in my mind like a concept, but I really like to explain things from my point of view, and maybe also hear other people's opinions. So let me know about that. I'm going to close down this video. Thank you so much for watching. Do a thumbs up and of course subscribe.